3, 2, 1. Did you clap?
Do you want to do it again?
I was doing the clap sync again because I got rid of the other
Yeah,
recording.
and I clapped too. Do you want to do it again?
How about we just clap for the rest of this episode?
No.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Pixel Venture podcast. I'm Korey.
And I'm Jake.
And it's been a short break.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah.
That's like our fastest turnaround ever.
Yeah, it's better than 2 years.
Yeah.
But, so last week we weren't able to record because Jake did not have his setup with him, and we didn't really have a place that I could record with him while he was back in Amherst. So, for anyone who was expecting an episode last week, sorry, but also, if anything, it's a break for your sanity. So, anyways, we actually have an idea of what we're talking about this week. So it might go a bit smoother. We aren't going to rely on a Minecraft Let's Play this time in order to make the episode look like it's enticing or whatever. So,
Yeah, instead we're going to show some CSGO surfing.
No. I reject this. I'm going to be very upset if you put it in the video.
How about a funny TikTok compilation?
I will leave.
You can't leave.
I can. I can delete everything off of my off my recording and make it more frustrating for you.
You mean for the fourth time today?
It was only one time, and that's because my nose started running.
It was at least two.
Anyways, so actual topics. Let's go. So, recently the game Slime Rancher became available for free off of the Epic Games launcher, which is the same launcher that a lot of people use for Fortnite and other games like that. And so, Jake and I have been able to play it for a bit. I've been meaning to get around to it. And I feel like we have different opinions, but the same overall, feeling towards the game.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. Personally, for me, I enjoyed it initially. And then I quickly realized that everything I was doing in the game was wrong. And I got very frustrated. And I haven't really gone back to play it since. So it's been a few days. I want to get into it because it seems fun. But it's just, I don't know. It seems like a crazy amount of micromanaging, which I'm bad at.
Mm-hmm.
And the pink slimes are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking keep jumping out of the little enclosure and jumping in and eating all my chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, what do you do? I know it's build the wall higher, and it's they still jump over it. Put a ceiling, but then it breaks.
So, do you remember how many pink slimes you had?
The whole thing was almost filled.
There's your problem.
Why?
Well, to completely dodge that problem, I have no pink slimes. Because I think that they're the biggest burden ever, because they're literally nothing but a problem. And I keep 6 or 7 slimes in each thing, and that serves me fine. I don't fill it at all. In fact, the only slimes I keep are the big what they call Largo or whatever.
Yeah, Largo.
Yeah, the combination ones.
Sorry.
I've been playing it quite a bit over the last there were 3 days I played a lot of it. And I ended up actually beating the game apparently.
Wait.
Because there's a story to it.
Well, yeah, there's like little notes that are scattered around, but I didn't know that there was like a definitive like end to the game. I thought it was kind of like, is it like say
So you
Stardew Valley
remember?
where it's like you end like the main story, but then you have all this other stuff to do?
I wouldn't know because I haven't played Stardew Valley.
Fun game, very fun
But
game.
basically, like you can explore, and it sends you to like this different like continent, I think, or maybe it's another planet. I don't remember. But like you get sent off to like this new place, and then like you can keep following the notes, and the notes like will eventually like tell a story. And do you remember like reading the mail when you
Yes.
played?
Yeah.
And you remember like Casey?
Yeah.
Her mail also like tells like an overarching story.
Interesting.
And then eventually does actually lead up to like a little kind of like not like a cutscene, but it was kind of like an animated what am I looking for? Like a credits, basically. That like also kind of like goes into the story. And I don't want to like spoil it because I thought it was nice. I thought it was interesting and kind of cute. Yeah.
I don't know, like when I played it, the only reason that I got all the pink slimes is that there would be the what were the like evil rainbow mouth slimes called?
I think they're like tar or something.
Yeah, well, regardless of what they're called, they would always be attacking them, and I'd feel really bad, so I tried to save as many of them as I could.
I I skipped over that like a baby and basically played on like the peaceful mode. Cause I'm like, I'm just trying to run my ranch. I'm not trying to to like survive.
Maybe that would make it like more enjoyable for me, like not having that pressure.
Cause like otherwise it's pretty chill and it's just kind of like, oh look, you're exploring a Unity game. Yeah.
So wait, does that remove all aggression from slimes?
Not all aggression. It just removes the tars. Yeah.
Well, I mean, see, like, I want to try that, but there's also just the other part of me where it's like playing, say, a game like Minecraft in creative mode versus survival. Like, in survival, almost all the threats are pretty easy to deal with if, like, you know what you're doing. And I feel like Slime Rancher will become that once I figure out, what I'm doing. But at the moment, it's just a fresh game to me. It's so new and different compared to a lot of other games. I know at its base, like core, it's a farming simulator,
Yeah.
but like it's just the fact that it's like a first person perspective. You have a cannon, pretty much as like your main sort of inventory and interacting with the environment type,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's so different than any other game that I would really play.
And like that's basically the reason why I started on like the peaceful mode because like I feel like that is kind of part of the challenge of the game to like survive through it as well. But like it is just like such a different game and I'm like so new to it that I'm like I'm just going to go like the easy way first. Kind of like my mentality of like most of the time when I get a new like single player game with a campaign, I'll generally go through like the easy like route first and then like go back and do like the harder ones later after like I get a feel for the game.
Yeah. What I like to do with games is I always play on the difficulty that like the developer recommends. And then I experience the other ones. Like there's games where it has like an easy, medium, hard difficulty and the developer could recommend like for the best experience play on normal or hard, or for some games play on easy, and it's like okay. I want to see the game and experience it the way the developer wants me to initially, and then I can go in and like break it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's why I kind of just went with the default difficulty with Slime Rancher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
The art style though is adorable.
Oh yeah, the art style's great. Uh, from what I could tell, the sound design's pretty good too.
The sounds the slimes
Um,
make when you're like firing them around and they're bumping together is so cute.
yeah. Um, but yeah, overall, it's a good game.
Frustrating, but it's quality.
Um, and Slime Rancher, I don't know if it still is, but it was like free on the Epic Game Store. Um, and the game that was free before that was What Remains of Edith Finch.
You didn't tell me that that one was free. I'm a little sad now.
Yeah, oh,
You
did
did
I
not.
not?
I would have totally played it.
Oh, I think I told Ryan about
Oof.
it, but I think I forgot to tell you.
Ryan's stealing the spotlight again.
So that he can not like it. So I could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was a good game. It is like a. It's weird because it's mostly a walking simulator,
Ooh.
but it has like these mini games that you have to like complete to like continue the
But
story.
real quick, Jake, before you get into it, Slime Rancher, for anyone listening who's interested, the game is free until March 21st. So if you want to pick it up and try it out yourself, just get the Epic Games launcher. And then after that, the next game that's going to be free from March 21st to April 4th is Oxenfree, which is actually a game I highly recommend.
Ooh, nice.
So, anyways, back to What Remains of Edith Finch, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. It is like a lot of walking and narration. But like basically what the story's about is you're playing as Edith Finch as she's like walking through her old house. Keep in mind she's like I want to say like 17 at the time. But she like left her family home for a while and she like came back. And it's basically about kind of like this curse that the Finches carry. That I don't want to get like too into just because of like spoiler territory. But like I thought it was interesting. I thought it had like a neat story to it. I would recommend playing it. I don't know how much it's like going for price wise, so I don't know if I could like say if it's worth it. But it is definitely a good experience if you can like find a time to play it.
What you mentioned earlier, I feel like that's just something that's. It comes with the difficulty of talking about any game that is a quote unquote walk in simulator. Is that a lot
Yeah.
of the story and a lot of the experience that you get from it, it's such a personal thing. Like when we talked about Dear Esther, like having that story change depending on what you see and also having the notes be randomized. Like, it's so difficult to review and talk about these kinds of games because of that. And because,
Yeah.
like you said, there's a curse, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that I've played the game. I have not been able to yet. Would have helped if you told me that was free, but
Well,
no,
I'm sorry,
it's fine.
but you never call.
We talk constantly outside the podcast. What are you talking about? No, this is my designated
Apparently we
day
don't,
of
'cause I
the
didn't
week
tell you
where
about
I
it.
go on the Discord and record our conversations. Like, not even a podcast. I just say the intro and you're just like, okay, I'll go with it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have told you about it if we had been in a call when I got it.
I probably was busy with school stuff, so anyways.
Anyway,
It's-
what were you saying?
Getting back on subject, it's very difficult to talk about why these games are great because it mostly comes from the individual experience. Because, like, oh, go ahead.
Like, plus a lot of it comes from, like, if I told you about the story of a walking simulator, like it kind of defeats playing the game. It's like part of it is the individual experience, but another part of it is also just
Atmosphere.
like going through the experience, like period. It's kind of like talking about a movie to someone who hasn't seen it. It's like if you explain it, you kind of get rid of like any like surprises or shocks or anything from it. Yeah.
I feel like I would enjoy it if I had the time to sit down and play it. Like that's
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably say that about, any game, but specifically like if I'm going to play a game like that, I need to set down like a significant period of time during like my day where I can be fully invested, do it in one go kind of thing. Because that's another thing is that a
Hmm.
lot of these games are intended for you to just play them through in one shot. Like, sure, there might be checkpoints
Yeah.
and the ability to save and stuff like that, but that breaks up the experience.
Hmm.
That's why, like, from like a narrative standpoint, I don't understand like having save points in those kinds of games. I feel like it really should just be like option to start game and then options, and that's it. I mean,
Hmm.
I understand, people get busy, people need to do stuff. Like that's fine. But for me, if it's a game that they intend for me to do in one go, I want them to sort of be like, here, it's do it. You know?
I mean, I don't think it hurts to have a save option just for like the people who decide to use it.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like I would agree more with you if they were like obnoxious about the save function of like, do you want to keep playing the game? And it like gives you like a menu of like, do you want to keep playing or do you want to save and quit? Uh, Kind of like how you'd see in like well, like comes to mind for me is like a Call of Duty campaign where like after every mission it like basically like gives you a little like wrap up kind of
Yeah,
window
and it was just like, hey,
of like
it's
mission
like, hey,
success.
do you still want to play this game? Okay, goodbye.
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 uh,
I would
yeah.
pay Sledgehammer Games any amount of money that they would want to just have have it when you exit out the campaign in like whatever like what's the most recent Call of Duty?
I don't even know. Was there like a World War II one?
Well, there's the World War II one, and then I think it's Call of Duty. Yeah, it's Black Ops 4. I think is the
Oh.
one that's like right now. And
Uh,
if I'm wrong, feel free to scream at me in the comments. I'm sorry that I don't keep up with the series anymore, but like I would love them to just have it where when you exit the mission briefing, you just hear "Goodbye."
okay, good job on mission. Goodbye.
Yeah, here's your money. Get yourself a skin.
Goodbye. You're so handsome.
Here's your Oh, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to say about What Remains?
Um. Play it, but it's not as good as Dear Esther.
Okay, because since we mentioned the Hyehyum thing,
Yeah.
so big things happening within a week and a half, and because of those said big things, I wanted so there's going to be some people visiting. We've already talked about who it is, kind of, but because they're coming to visit, I was talking to you about finding like restaurants and places to go in Boston that they wouldn't have out where they live.
And would be fun for the whole family.
And you recommended to me Boston Burger Company,
Yes, I did.
which and this I feel like I have to say this isn't an ad read or something like that, but we're not big enough to get traction for that.
not
But
not like modern pastry.
like regardless, last night I had the opportunity to go with a few friends to they had a location in Cambridge. And
Hmm.
so we drove out. and got to try it. And I was pretty hesitant because I look at the menu, and first things first, the burgers are like $13 up.
They're like, a lot of them are like $15, yeah.
And I was not expecting that because one of my friends was covering for me, and I felt really guilty.
Yep.
And then you look at like their what are they called? Like the monster shakes or something like that. And
The
it's
freak
like
fraps.
yeah, it's like $10 for one.
Mm-hmm.
And
11,
it's like
yeah.
wow. It's like crazy prices and stuff. And I was like, this better be like the best burger and best shake I've ever had. Otherwise, I'm making my friends spend like $26 on me for something that I don't like.
And
It's one of the best burgers I've ever had.
yep.
So
It's a really good place.
they had the burger that I got. It's called the Texan. And the Texan, it has it's just like, burger, cheese, and then they put chili and coleslaw on it. And it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like the chili itself was delicious, the one that like on top and everything, but it just worked so well, and the burger was nice and juicy, and like the shake that we got, well, because me and a friend, we split it. We got this one. It's a really long and complicated name. I thought I'd written it down somewhere, but I
I have
can't
the
find
menu up.
okay, it's the one with the Choco Taco.
Chiroli, we can talk about it.
Yep. That one, because it had, okay, so it comes with like two big churros and like a Choco Taco in the side of it, and there's just a mountain of whipped cream, and it just tastes like a sundae, and you got like cinnamon toast crunch on the rim.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here like thinking, I'm not going to be able to move tomorrow.
Like, when they're called freak fraps, they do not fuck around.
I thought you were joking about it initially, and then I got there, and
you saw
and
the
it was
picture
like,
of the Cookie Monster one.
yeah,
Like,
the one
that's
that
just legit how they're topped.
the one that looks like it's in a constant state of panic.
Yeah.
Jake,
Or,
future
or
Jake, put it in now, for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Or there's the s'more one that like legit just has an entire s'more on top of it.
Yeah, no, I saw someone else ordered that, and it looked so good.
Dude,
Jake,
I
I hope you're putting up pictures of all of this as we're talking about it, because I feel like people need to know it.
I think one of the craziest ones I saw just because of like the spectacle of it was the one I got the last time I ate there, which I don't even remember like the flavor of the frap or what it was supposed to be. All I remember was like wedged into like the side of the glass was, I kid you not, just a whole Boston cream donut.
What?
Just wedged onto the side, like
What?
of like the rim of the glass, an entire Boston cream donut.
I just like to imagine they're like working on the freak fraps or whatever, and then a guy puts like a lemon on the rim of his lemonade or whatever, and they're like, "That's a good idea." And they just take
that thought.
they just take a donut and just go, just like right on
And like
the side.
you know, like how big like the fraps are, like they're like
Yeah,
huge.
no, they're
So
good size.
I legit just took the donut home and had it as a snack the next day. It's like there's no fucking way I'm gonna finish this.
Dude, I ate everything somehow.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I wish so. Two of the other friends that I went, well, there were 3 people aside from me. One of them just got wings, and the other 2 got. There's a burger called the 420, and it pretty much is like those like appetizer samplers that they have at like a lot of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that on just a burger.
It is mozzarella sticks, mac and cheese, onion rings, bacon, barbecue sauce, and American cheese, all on the burger.
It looked incredible.
I've gotten that before. My strategy is to just take the mozzarella sticks and onion rings off and just have those as a side, or else it's just not going to fucking fit.
Yeah. I'm super pumped about that place now because like I was going into it, had no expectations, no real because like anytime I've been to a burger place where they charge more than $10 for the burger, it's always either a hockey puck or they don't cook it at all.
Yeah.
But like they actually asked like how do I like it cooked, and I usually do like medium well or just medium,
Yeah.
and it was perfect. It was very very nice, and it's a thick patty too, and the bun they used was great. Like the way they toasted it, like I mentioned this to you last night when I was talking to you about it, where the way they toasted it is the bun was kind of curved, so it contained the chili and the coleslaw really well. So yeah. So if you're ever in Cambridge or Boston or Somerset, I think it has a location too, right?
Maybe.
Regardless, if you're there and you like burgers and stupid milkshakes, and the wings are really good too, and
Oh yeah.
just go there. And also, I found the next thing that I need to try there. They have nacho fries, and
Yes. Yes, they do.
I love like nacho fries and stuff like that. Like there's a place on Amherst Street in Nashua. It's a short drive from where I live. It's called California Burrito, and they have this thing called the carne de asad fries. And it's pretty much just everything you'd get in a steak burrito, but on French fries. It's $10 and it can feed 4 people.
Nice.
It's delicious. Well, I'll get it with you sometime when you're back for the summer.
Alright. And just as one final note on the Boston Burger Company, a lot of the stuff is like $15 plus for the burgers and like $11 and up for the like fraps and stuff. But there are some like cheaper things on the menu as well. Like some of the burgers go for like, I want to say like $12.
The cheapest one I saw was 11, and it was just like a basic normal burger.
Yeah, they have like a basic burger. They also have like a build your own burger. I'm not sure how like the pricing works for that because it is set at like $11.
I think
$11.50.
I think it's like the basic stuff is free, and then when you get crazy with it, like put a fried mac and cheese ball on it, they would add extra.
Yeah.
But I remember the Texan was like $13, and that was,
the Texan.
that was very very good.
There's some other ones like the Alpine Burger for $12.50, which is garlic, Parmesan mushrooms, and Swiss.
That actually sounds lovely.
The All American, that's bacon, barbecue sauce, creamy blue cheese, American cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
Boston Burger Company, please sponsor us.
Ranch with homemade ranch dressing, bacon, and American.
Yeah, because Jake, I love how you're like,
I can just keep going.
Let's have one last note. Reads the entire menu.
Anyway, where do we go from here?
To be honest, I'm not sure how to do a segue to another topic because, like, how do you do that when you're just reading the menu of like a restaurant?
We might be going. So we might be going there with your family when they come to visit.
Yeah, that's
right?
That's what I mentioned at the beginning. And hey, you know what? We can segue into this. PAX East.
Yeah.
We are less than 2 weeks away, my friend.
Yes, we are. We're like a week away.
It's I thought
a week from now. A week from now, we would have been at PAX.
Yeah. Oh,
wait, no.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait.
Oh shit.
Are we? Oh wait, no, you're right. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well,
yeah. 2 weeks.
Well, Jake. It was so nice in like a nice smooth thing that I was trying, and then you're like, no.
I like completely just had like a brain fart, and I thought today was like the 20 something, but it's not at all. It's
That's
the 17th.
fine. We'll keep this in. People will make fun of us or whatever. Now my Fitbit's going off. This segment's going to the dogs.
But yeah, in 2 weeks, it'll be the Sunday of PAX.
So, how about we do what we did, I believe, episode 1, where we talked about our predictions for PAX East. What's going to be shown? What's going to disappoint us? Will the food still be expensive?
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, for the last part,
The food
of
will
course.
be just as expensive as the tickets.
I remember one year I spent $13 on just chicken and fries
Yeah.
and no drink. It was great.
Yeah.
Go off site for food. It's better. But as far as predictions or things to get hyped about, so how familiar are you with the Borderlands franchise?
Not at all, but I do know that they're playing an announcement, and they've teased the number 3.
It's huge. I'm okay. Just a little backstory. The Borderlands franchise is one of my favorite video game franchises ever. Those games helped me through some pretty dark times, just helping me feel happy when things were going real bad in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, having Gearbox post on their Instagram like a picture done in like the Borderlands type art style, where it's a sign that says Boston. It says March 28th, I believe, on it.
Yeah, something like that.
And then on the top right corner, you see Exit 3. Like, that's enough to send me through a tailspin.
Yeah. If
Like-
it's not like the third of something, like Borderlands 3, like it's gonna be such a huge just like tease.
Yeah. And aside from that, like, other things that people are looking at, there's going to be DLC announced for We Happy Few based on another screenshot they had. There's rumor about a possible Switch port of the second game. And if they do that, I'm buying it immediately. Because, okay, I played the main campaign of Borderlands 2 way more times than I like to admit. It's so much fun, such a great game. I completed every single mission. I know the whole game like the back of my hand. If I can get that on the go, I will not talk to people anymore.
Oh yeah.
It'll be great. I'll just be like sitting anywhere and be playing it, and people will come over and just be like, "Hi, Korey," and I'm just invested. It's going to help me avoid people. You don't understand. It's great.
Oh, I bet it will.
Another thing also on their panel, because this panel is going to be happening Thursday. I'm not going to be there for Thursday, but I'm going to interrupt whatever my birth family wants to do with me so I can watch the live stream.
Oh my god.
It's important to me.
Yeah, dude.
It's very important.
Not as important as your family. Or more important than your family, rather.
No, I'll be cruising around with my family, and I'll just be playing it like over my speakers in my car. And the moment that I hear something about Borderlands 3, I'll scream, swerve to the side of the road, grab my phone, and stare at it.
You're gonna hit the brakes and just wait until it's done.
Yeah, it's in the middle of Boston. Just like, oof. But yeah, no, I'm so excited because they talked in their sort of panel like about like what's going on section on the PAX site. It mentions that they're going to have announcements for like stuff about Borderlands, stuff about Brothers in Arms, which that game franchise has not seen a new title in a while. I think the last one was an app, but I'm not positive. I'm going to quickly check that. But regardless, Thursday's actually going to be pretty big for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited.
Do you know what you're gonna be doing with your family that day?
Well, we were talking about going to like coming back to New Hampshire, going around meeting some friends.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I think it'll be nice to like go around, show them what's here, what's going on.
Nice.
Ooh, last release for Brothers in Arms, by the way, was Brother in Arms Free Sons of War in 2014, and it was an app. So if they
Yeah.
have if they're actually like making like a legitimate like sequel, that'd be great. Cause yeah, I don't know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think just PAX is always just such a magical time of year for me
Yeah.
because it's like this big convention and everyone there is super nice and you just anything and everything you would want as far as like video games and tabletop and like online personalities and things like that, that's there. Like it is the East Coast equivalent of say Magfest or E3. I wouldn't say as intense as E3, but definitely like has that same traction. Like the tickets sell out so fast for this event. People come over from all over the world. It's such a fun event, and there's just so much to do that I always have this problem where when I hit the, I believe, 5 hour mark when I'm walking around the convention hall, it's like, okay, I've kind of glimpsed at every single booth and like I've done some things. What else can I do? And I get kind of like, uh,
Yeah. You start feeling that like convention lag.
which is why I am so surprised there are people that are going to be there for 4 days.
4 days. Yep.
Like, I tried to do 3 days one year with some friends, and that drained me. I I had a hard time getting out of bed for the Sunday.
Yeah. I've been doing 3 days for like I want to say the last like 3 years. Um, my first year I went 1 day, and then it was 3 days from there. But this year I'm just going two because of those prices, dude.
Yeah, I mean, isn't
They're
part of the thing that you're doing is Cookie Brigade?
allegedly maybe, but I haven't heard anything about it after I like did the stuff I was supposed to do. So I don't know.
Oh, and just for listeners who don't know what the Cookie Brigade are, they are people who walk around the convention with backpacks and they're selling cookies, and all the money that they make goes towards charities.
Mm-hmm.
What are the charities for this year, if you know?
I believe the charity is. Uh, let's see. I have like the website open. I want before I find it, I want to say it might be like. What's that one charity called? Like Child's Play?
Oh, yeah, Child's Play. That's
Yeah.
the one for getting games to hospitalized kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. Yeah, for
Regardless, it's
the Child's Play charity.
but yeah, definitely if you're at the convention, pick up a cookie. I always do. They're actually really good too.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? Maybe that's something we should do. Since like I mean, I did say like, is there anything that you want to see at PAX? Like any predictions and stuff? Because I mean, I told you my one thing that I'm hyped as hell for.
The thing that I find really weird about this year is this is going to be the first year where I have like nothing to look forward to, at least that I've seen yet. Like I haven't heard of any like game releases they'll be coming that I'm like super interested in. Like I tried looking at the panels real quickly, like a couple weeks ago, I think, and like nothing caught my eye. It's like I honestly have no idea what to expect for this year.
In all honesty, the panel lineup for this year seems kind of weak compared to other years. Not to say that there aren't good people. I mean, Up Down Down is going to be there, and that's super cool. And there's
Yeah.
always the Gabe and Tycho like panel, and throwing controllers is happening. Like I don't know.
Like there are some like panels out there, but I mean like we've gone to like a couple of like panels before. Like there's the Warcraft panel. Say what you will about the movie, but like the panel was pretty fun to be at because it had
I
like
still like the movie.
I did too, but that's a discussion for another day. Like the
Oh yeah.
panel was fun. Like it had some fun jokes, like the tiny hands.
Yeah, and we got like the little eyeglass cleaner.
Yeah, because they know
The
their
little
audience
monster.
so well.
Yeah. I think my favorite part for that entire panel was looking to you when they said who's here for the alliance and just the look of disgust on your face.
The pure disgust.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also been like other panels. Like I've gone to see the Cox and Krendor panel.
Yes, and that was the one where I asked them to do a Barney impression, and he just goes, "I love you." Next
Next question.
question.
Let's see. You have to send me that so I can put that in like the the video.
Okay, okay, I'll find. I could probably just screen cap it off of Instagram and like send it to you.
Let's see what
And
else.
future Jake, throw it in now.
Question! Hi, could you do your best Barney the Dinosaur impression, both of you?
I love you. Next question!
Okay. Let's see. I'm also. I think they had a co-optional podcast panel live one year. I'm pretty sure I saw that. But yeah, it just kind of feels like this year it's very like almost meh in comparison. But maybe something will surprise me. Maybe I'll finally go to one of the panels that are like, I don't even know how to describe them. You might be able to help, like the ones that sound very like self-helpy in a way. That are like, anxiety in the gaming community or like diversity in like character rosters and things like that.
Yeah.
I might try going to like one of those this year just to see what they're about.
You know what's something that I've been interested in, and I haven't actually taken a look at. So there actually is. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's like near the like the PAX arcade where you can go and like play any console, any games, pretty much. Right next to that, there's like this tiny little. Well, there's like this room, and it's for like LGBT plus like content and games and stuff like that. I've never gone in there, and I've always wanted to because I feel bad because you see the developers in there and you see the artists and everything, and I want to go in and talk to them because one of the best things about PAX is going and talking to the developers.
Oh yeah.
And so like I would love to hear their perspective with a lot of stuff.
Speaking of which, you know who I'm curious if they're gonna come back? Do you remember the Endless Mission?
Yes.
That game is still not out, and I'm wondering if they're going to show it off at PAX again.
I want to go there because I remember we were talking about it and they were like, so what kind of genre game would you be interested in? And we talked like horror, like add in a horror type thing. So Endless Mission, I don't know if we've talked about this before at any point.
I think we might have, maybe.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
regardless, Endless Mission, it is apparently there's a story to it, which is really cool, but
Yep.
you get full reign to mess with different genres of games and make mashups and other games and stuff like that. Like, for example, we had a RTS game and we added like racing game type mechanics. So
It was an RTS game, but we were driving a race car.
yeah, like we because initially it played like an RTS and we had to beat it and everything. And once you beat like the sort of demo, it gives you all the stuff from that pack. And so we were able to combine them, and you were just racing around the forest, knocking out enemies, trying to keep them away from our base. And at one point, I remember it was just like, let's just increase the Z axis to all of it. And so you just had a very stretched out car that floated away because I turned off all gravity. That's so much fun because another game that from my childhood that I love is called WarioWare DIY. In that game, pretty much you are allowed to not only do you have like the WarioWare mini games that you come to expect, but you're also able to make your own. And I loved that so much, and I love any game that gives me the ability to make and do like so much.
I'll never forget when I played it with Ethan before I played it with you, and the way it was like introduced was like we went through kind of like the introduction of it, and then we were put into like this racing game, and the developer was just like, "So, what do you think of the racing so far?" And Ethan was just like, like the map just feels like very like tight and narrow, but it feels like you're going too slow for like the map. And the developer's like, okay, just and like changes a few settings, and it's like, okay, there you go. And he was like, wait a minute, yeah, this feels great. And he's like, yeah, so yeah, you'd be able to change that whenever you want. That's just like part of the game. And he was like so like amazed that was just like a function of the game.
No, because like people like to have input with like games and things in general. That's why people get so passionate about franchises or like modding communities exist, because they want to keep making cool stuff. And I see Endless Mission as one of those platforms that'll let you create and let you experience so many different things that you normally wouldn't be able to. It's kind of like what's the project that the developer of Little Big Planet is doing right now? I think it's called Project Dream.
I wouldn't know.
It's kind of like that, where pretty much you just make whatever you want. They give you the assets, they give you all this stuff, the code in and everything. And you just make stuff, and the games apparently are supposed to like you're supposed to get like a playlist of games, and you're playing them, and they all flow seamlessly into each other. Which will be interesting to see once we get gameplay. But it's Media
Plus,
Molecule. That's the name of the developer.
Yeah, plus like a lot of other games would see those kind of like adjustment things as kind of like things to do in a beta. It'd be like if you say the car is like, if it's a racing game, you say it's too slow, you would speed it up, and like when it finally got released, it would just be like that's solid speed. But like the fact that that's actually like something you get to control like in the full game, like that's what I find really interesting.
Yeah, like again, people like to manipulate what they play. That's why GTA 5 is still like as big as it is, because of like the modding community, as well as just all the random stuff they added to online that just makes the game so much more fun than any base game it could be.
Or even things like the Halo forging community.
Ooh, I have one last thing I want to say.
Yeah.
And this probably will be the end of the podcast, but you gave me a good segue for it.
You're welcome.
Halo Reach for PC.
Dude, Halo for PC.
Okay, that was
Reach
a
was
big...
great, but I'm excited for ODST as well.
Dude, it's just like, so for anyone who was living under a rock, they announced that the Halo Master Chief Collection as well as Halo Reach are going to be on PC, and not just through Microsoft Store, they're going to be on Steam.
Yep.
This is huge.
Yep.
Like, this is a property that was a console seller. And now they're like putting it on there. So like that also argues sort of the like, is streaming games like, well, I believe streaming games is going to be the future. Like that's just kind of the direction everything's going. But like, is that what Microsoft wants to do with Xbox? Do they want them to be like go from being console makers to like a streaming service because of how Game Pass has taken off? Not to say that like I remember we were talking about this before, and one of the arguments was like, if I could just stream all Xbox games, why would I buy an Xbox? And the idea that I had was, streaming, you go with whatever. Performance, you go with the Xbox.
Really?
Because the streaming service, it streams it from an Xbox. It's like the Nvidia, when I used my Nvidia Shield, they had a service which let you stream PC games to your device. It wasn't using the hardware on the device in order to, run the game, have the frame rate up and everything like that. it was reliant on whatever server PC that you connected to run it. It wasn't like you. It wasn't like you download the game and now it's PC graphics on the go. It's you have to have a Wi-Fi connection. And
Yeah.
I feel like people would get angry if that was like a crutch or a cripple, the kind of thing for it. And so if Xbox were like, yeah, so here's a console where you can only stream, like that would cut down costs significantly. And that's for that our audience that's like, I can just bring this, like when I travel, hook up to the hotel Wi-Fi, still be able to play. Or you could have the other people who are just like, I want to be able to play regardless of what happens, and they get the basic console. Like, you appeal to both demographics there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm passionate about this because, like, there's some people who are just like, this is the death of consoles. And in a way, yes. But it's not like a death of, like, they're all gone. It's just they're changing and adapting. And people are, like, misinterpreting that as, like, this is it. It's a good awkward silence. We're going to keep all of that in.
I mean, I'm excited for it as a Halo fan who's been an Xbox boy ever since I became or up until I became a PC player. And Halo was one of my favorite franchises. In fact, it was the first M-rated game I ever played, Halo 3. So yeah, like I'm excited to see it like come to PC, and maybe one day eventually playing Halo 5 with all of the bad things I've heard about it.
I don't know. You play Forge. That's the good part of 5.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, true. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Pixel Venture podcast. This is episode 14?
14-ish?
It's a number.
Yeah.
The episode
It
number.
is a number.
Yeah, it's a number. You could sort it, whatever. Anyways, I'm Korey.
And I'm Jake.
And thank you so much for listening.
See you.